Rocking. Welcome to Premeditated Part. We've got the old Chris Shaw. What's happening, mate?
What's happening, mate?
Glad to have you, mate, for the third time, man. This is like Tony Akibiba podcast, except fuck you, Dana. We get it done. So how you doing anyway, mate?
Alright.
Aye, still getting on well.
Still surviving.
Aye, that's it, man. Still plodding away. You still manage to keep yourself fit.
That's it. Just try to do as much as I can now. Obviously the gyms are shut and that, so I'm doing as much as I can.
Are you still getting out and running and that kind of thing?
Out running, taking air, just get some bags and stuff like that at the house, so just hitting that and doing some home workouts.
It needs to be done, man. I see the home workouts and all, man. It's like they're alright, but see, it's like I could go in and I could get myself into a gym and do a fucking pure colossal hour workout, smash it every day. See, doing a wee kind of simple home workout, see, try to get the motivation for it, I can't do it.
It's not the same.
It's not at all.
You just cheat yourself and all. You set yourself alright and you're going, right, today 3 sets of 10, and you're like, 9 will do. And then you start. It's a lot harder.
Aye, definitely.
It's a lot harder to push yourself.
And see when you're doing it on that date with the YouTube videos and it's the guy and the woman and like day these and you're jumping about and I'm blowing at my arse shouting to tell me like fucking slow down that pure fat belly hanging out. Cause I remember the last time I done one I just finished work, so I'm one of the cunts. I hate fucking doing a lot of laundry, so I'm in the house myself, so I get home, I just whip my work clothes off and just done it in my boxers. So I'm this big fucking fat mess falling about. My room's quite cramped, man, so I'm falling about the place and these cunts are jumping about and I was stressing out. It was no good, man. So
you just put your Fitbit on and do the housework, that's you.
That's exactly it, mate. That's me. I work out a pulse, man. But fucking, let's take us back to the start. How was it life growing up for you, man?
It's alright, just kind of usual. Obviously, you know Matt and stuff like that, so we all just hung about the streets and stuff like that. That was just normal life growing up. Having a drink, waiting 3 hours in a close, waiting for somebody to get in for your drink.
Aye.
Then chasing somebody that would try and run away with your money. So that was it. Just down to the streets, whatever else, just same as everybody.
Just an average scheme growing up, living, man.
Average.
When you were younger, so you obviously getting into fights. Were you one of the more kind of like prone to like getting into fights kind of man, or was that a part of your personality or that?
No, I wouldn't. I would fight if I had to. I didn't just.
Wasn't a troublemaker or nothing like that? None of that stuff.
I know.
I just on occasion.
I was in those situations. I was hanging about with all the people that were getting into fights. And I did enjoy the fights. So I did enjoy it. But I wasn't there to start it, and I wasn't there to be a bully or try and pick on anybody. If the fights happened,
you were handy.
We just all hung about. We were in situations where we'd all get into fights, or somebody would start a fight, and then it would just travel on from there and spiral on, and that's just what happened. It was just a normal thing. It wasn't. We're just young boys growing up, all trying to prove ourselves.
When did you get into your Muay Thai? So what got you into it? Was it kind of...
as you say, we were growing up and stuff like that, so through there, growing up wise, fucking hanging about the streets, getting into all that bother with our pals and just running about, just being normal boys. 17-year-old, flung out the house, stayed with Matt, stayed with a few of our pals, before you know it, I stayed with my mate Kenny. Getting into a roofing apprenticeship, was doing that. Before then, I ended up started college through my apprenticeship. It was a boy, wee chip, my mate. Somebody asked him how long to go to Thai boxing, so I tagged along with him and my mate Kenny. We all kind of lasted, going for a couple of weeks, 3 times or something a week, and then they two shat it.
Oh, they were usual in it, man.
My lift ended up, and didn't get a lift to Johnston anywhere, so I had to get a bus. And see, after the first session, I was fucking buzzing.
Really? So you just took a little like duck to water?
Aye, it was fucking brilliant. Fair enough, I think my first session, it was a 14-year-old boy, Superman punched me in the nose. And bust my nose, aye. I still know him the day, Sean Hannigan.
Really?
Just give him a wee shout out. 14-year-old, we'd hit pads and that, whatever else. I'd done a bit of boxing training, just hitting bags and whatever else. Set for that, just went there, done a class, blown out my arse. Used to play 5-a-sides, go to the gym and that, but that was a total different level.
Oh, it is a totally different fucking ball game. I can relate to that completely, man. I used to go to box, kind of different. It was boxing training, man, but that's when I realised like, because you think you're fit to a degree till you start hitting a punch bag, man. And the punch bag isn't hitting back, but you're blowing out your arse like, fuck, if this thing had fucking fists, I'd blown my arse by now.
Aye.
And that's when you realise you develop a kind of certain respect for people that do it. But see, obviously you're saying with us because it's...
Aye, so see likes of Sean fucking... Done all that session, Sean fucking Superman punched me, bust my nose all over the place, bleeding, went home, and rather than thinking, fuck this is no for me, I thought, aye, fuck this, I'm gonna go. So was there every session, I think it was every Monday, Wednesday, constantly there. Then they two shat it, my mate Chip and Kenny shat it, they didn't come back, there was all sorts of excuses. Chip lost his dug out his homework. Kenny had a fucking sore wee tummy and all that. It just seemed like every Monday, Wednesday this was it, so had for them through. I had to get a bus to Gilmore Street, and then a train, and that was me. I had to do it. So kept doing that. And then I think it got to like Christmas time. I'd done it for 4 weeks, 5 weeks old. Christmas time, just chilled out. The gym wasn't opened. Sat and get mad with one of my pals, just usual. And then I went back to it after Christmas, and I took my first. I went in the gym and I was there for like 2 weeks. There was a boy fighting on one of the shows, and there was a pull-out. And then that's how I ended up taking my first fight.
Oh really?
The guy put me on the scales and went like, "Are you 65 kilo?" I was like, "Aye." I said, "I'll probably be 64. Put me on the scales, and he's like, "Alright, you want to fight?" I was kind of thinking, I've only fucking hit a bag.
So long have you been doing this for, by this point? 5 weeks?
7, 8 weeks or something.
Alright, so you're really just still a beginner,
7,
pretty
8
much?
weeks, just a beginner, total fucking novice. And then the boy, Stevie, took the class. He ended up saying, he's like, "So, do you want to take this fight? Have a think about it, game, have a think about it." But then as soon as he went like, "You get 50 quid for it and all." So as soon as he said I'd get 50 quid for fighting, I was like, fuck it.
That was your sold.
Aye, that was my sold. So done it. Even at the end, I didn't really know what Thai boxing was. I'm not going to lie. Diet wise, never had a clue. There wasn't YouTube or fucking anything like that. There wasn't a nutritionist. Didn't know fuck all. I was fucking just eating 3 bowls of Rice Krispies a day. And fucking that, right, just to keep my weight. I was paranoid in case I'd weigh heavy or
right,
put weight on. Was watching fucking Rocky box sets and fucking
trying to get the motivation.
Getting motivation, going out running, ask my mates if they want to come out a run and sprint. The other days a week I wasn't at the gym, doing press ups and all that, nothing that knew that I looked back and like, it was fucking stupid.
None of
that was actually going to make me proper being able to fight.
Aye, fighting fit anyway.
So that was it. Took that first fight, and from there, fucking it was with Headguard, shin pads. I think the boy had 4 or 5 fights before it. As well, so I never knew this as well. So
oh right, aye, so they kept that secret for you.
So he'd like 4 or 5 fights. I've done alright. I thought I'd done alright. I didn't know anything about scoring. I was high kicking and punching, but they don't really score in Thai boxing. He was landing clean body kicks. I was pushing him, but he won in points. And then after that, I fought all my pro fights after that. And I think I went on to win. I think it was 9 fights by 9 knockouts.
Oh, but just after that fight?
Aye, after
so
that.
When was your next fight after that one? Did you like put in a bit more training preparation, or were you just right into it?
Ended up, I started rather than going like 2 or 3 days a week, I started going 5 days a week, 5, 6 days a week.
Alright, so you just started putting in the time?
After that, after getting beaten, see if I probably didn't get beat that first fight, I wouldn't have chased it as much. I'd have probably thought, fuck it, I can beat MD.
Aye.
But then that made me fucking properly train.
Aye, that's probably the best thing could have happened to you.
So after that, I fought again on April 27th or something like that. So that was in like February, and then I fought on April 27th. So no much of a difference, but properly training and getting my head down and focusing a bit more. It made me go into. Then I won that one in the first round by stoppage. Then I went on to win fucking the rest of the 9 fights by stoppage.
Brilliant. How was he compare obviously your mindset getting into the first fight? How was that after let's see getting into the second fight? Well, let's see the first fight, were you nervous and that? How were you feeling?
First fight I was nervous, but because I didn't know what to expect.
Just a fear of the unknown kind of
fear of the unknown. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know like the ring entrance, like fucking like what's your song? I'm like, I fucking don't know.
Fucking sing something with a mic
song and all that. Like, it was just unknown. My mindset totally changed. I knew what I was getting into. And I was never getting embarrassed in front of my mates again. Aye. I was never having my mates saying you get battered.
Oh, that was probably them that fucking helped kind of motivate you then, huh?
Aye, so that was it.
Fucking brilliant. So obviously you went on to like see the 9 fights. Was this on the space of a
this
year?
Was all, 9 fights. I think that was in the space of 2 years. But it was all like C-class rules. So in Thai boxing, there's rules like, I think C-class is a case of obviously just boxing gloves. There's no shin guards or fuck all. But you can't knee to the head, you can't elbow. Right. So I think 3 or 4 C-class fights, and then the rest of them were B-class fights, and then I went on, I think it was 2 A-class fights. The B-class you can knee to the head, A-class you can elbow and knee to the head.
Right, so there's kind of like different kind of levels to it, because I wasn't too sure.
It's different in Thailand. See, Thailand, it's just full rules.
Oh, is it?
They're trying to dilute it a wee bit, because most of these guys are just doing it as a hobby. Like, until you get to the A-class level and it's full rules, then it's like, game on, you're fighting these guys. Most of these guys at A-class are professional athletes.
Aye,
that's their job.
Aye, so it would be a bit unfair, it would be a bit fucking throwing a dog to the wolves, man, wouldn't it, man? If you're putting somebody in that's still an amateur, I use the word, not I mean, because if you compare it to boxing, you've got the amateurs, you've got obviously head guards and that, but it's a different rule set, not I mean, there's so many different things you can do. Imagine putting somebody in that's knows like skilled or that. Let's say yourself, you get put in yourself the first time, man, you're getting kicked in the head and all that shit, man. You're like, what the fuck? Know what I mean? You can end up injured.
When elbows are involved as well, like you're just going to cut somebody up to bits.
Aye, definitely, man.
What they're doing. You know what I mean? They're scarred for life.
100%, man. So, well, did see when you obviously got into the fighting? How is it? Did you feel it was doing for you? Was it you getting something out of fighting you weren't getting out of life? And was it doing something for you? Was it filling a kind of hole for you? It
was filling a hole. See, to be honest, you were just bored. See if you were late your work. I'm a roofer, obviously. When I got home for work, I was playing fives in the gym and that, and it was all right, but it was a bit of boredom. Like, see, lifting weights, it doesn't excite me. Like, it doesn't at all. But the fighting, it definitely fills a hole.
But is it does? Is it just a competition in it? Or?
It's a competition, but it's like seeing how far you can push yourself. Like, and also saying, what can I do in your fight? It's like a big puzzle. It's like a game of chess, and everybody says that in jiu-jitsu and whatever else, and I understand it. Like, it's the same with fighting. It's like chess. You're throwing certain techniques for him to react in a way, and you're trying to think 3 or 4 moves ahead of him.
You're trying to kind of lure him into a trap kind of thing.
But also, it's a feeling. It's a good feeling. Like, not in a horrible or fucking nasty way, but see, hurting somebody, it's a good feeling.
Aye.
But also, it's when somebody's trying to hurt you, and then the two of you are going at it. It's good. How you feeling? See, when the fight happens, you're obviously want to take somebody out. But after that, it's game. It's like fine, you've got respect for them.
Aye,
but before it, I don't hold respect. I respect them because they're doing the same thing as I'm doing. They're chasing the same fucking goal, and I know how much work they've put in to come in and fight me. But before that, I'm not showing them any respect because they're trying to take everything I've got.
Aye, definitely. And plus and all, it's like get to that point. If you show them too much respect before it, you can end up. Like, no, see right now, like, as you're saying, you're showing them no respect, so you're just trying to take their head off, just trying to kind of defeat them in the fight. If you show them too much respect, you kind of, it's almost a weakness to a certain degree, you know what I mean? Like, obviously after the fight, you've knocked fuck each other, so that respect, we've kind of shared something that me and not you and a lot of humans willing to share.
Most of the guys that I've fought, well, I'd say a lot of the guys I've fought, I still talk to them and that, and brand new, and if they've got fights, I'll support them. And there's a few guys that I've fought and I've trained with after it and all that, and end up quite good pals with them.
Oh, really?
It's weird how it works, but everybody's chasing that one goal. He's trying to take what you've got as well.
Aye, definitely, that's what it's about. So see, how many fights you into before you got offered your first title fight?
I think my first British A-class fight was the ISK British title at 59 kilo. I think I had 14 fights.
So you were kind of, what was this, just like a year after into it, year, 2 year into it?
I think it was in my 3rd year.
Oh, was it your 3rd year, aye? So it's still relatively kind of, like you're still quite new to it, you know what I mean, to a certain degree, like 3 years.
It was just because, see, the way I was beating people at the start, I was winning in the first and second rounds. There was not a lot of time I was going to points, and that was just my style at the time under Obi's gym, under Stevie Houston and Lloyd Cochrane. They were aggressive, like that was their style, and that's the style I had at the time.
Oh really? So it suited that kind of gym you're training in?
There was actually a saying, it was points are for poofs, and obviously I know it's very fucking PC now, but that's the fucking... But
it hits home, didn't it? It's fucking, you understand that.
Do you know what, a points wasn't enough, it was like taking somebody out, you wanted a stoppage. So that's what we said at the start, and that's how I ran through so many people, and it wasn't a race to get finished first, like to fucking take him out as fast as you can, but you were in there to hurt somebody.
Aye, you were in to do the damage. See, when the training in the gym, how was the sparring like? Was it like kind of heavy sparring? Was it that kind of mentality?
It was
so you were in, so as you were saying, it was probably 14 fights before you had your first title fight, but you've probably had those countless fights in the gym you could class as a fight, know what I mean?
Even at that time, Lloyd Cochrane, he was a British, European and a world champion. He was the one that was training me, and I was bouncing off him, and he taught me basically most of the stuff he knew, and he wrote a big manual out basically what you needed to do. So your goal was to be Scottish champion, British champion, and then things you had to do, and it was like training 6 days a week. You had to eat right, you had to cut weight properly, you had to follow these rules, and that's what I done. I fucking followed everything.
You just stuck to it religiously?
Trained 6 days a week, pushed myself. There was times where he was obviously a lot more experienced than me. See, we had a lot of big tear-ups in the gym, like...
Oh really?
He probably went easy on me. See, at that time, like he went really probably easy on me, but times I'd come back in and go, fucking hell, he battered the shit out of me. Like every Sunday I'm going, he fucking battered me, and no matter I'd go home and I'd try and look up fucking, at the time, after that time YouTube was just coming on, so I was looking at tactics. I'm going, right, he's always hitting me with this, and how can I fight him? And every fucking time I'm trying to do something else, he was just adapting.
Oh, right,
and he was changing it round again, and I was getting battered the next week and battered. And do you know what? It makes you tougher.
Aye, definitely.
Does, but there was a lot of fucking hard sparring. There was times where people were getting him with bust noses, people were getting banged out, people were getting fucking. I fucking hit people with the body. I like the body shots. So
Aye,
I'd like to just fucking hit people with a body shot and they'd be drapped and they'd be fucking rolling about being sick.
Oh,
and
really?
That's fucking just how it was. And I took fucking some amount of damage as well, but there's a lot of damage there. And that's for just how it was back then. You were just sparring hard. Nobody. It was just to see how tough you were. And we were all pushing each other. And do you know what? It done me the world of good, but at the time, probably differently now. I wouldn't spar. You need that coming up. See your first few fights, see when you start knowing that you can fight, you can push yourself, you're not going to chuck it. And it's all mental as well. After that, you don't need to spar as heavy.
Definitely
it still happens, but it still happens. If you're sparring with somebody, he's trying to beat you.
Aye.
And then, even though he's a pals, there's a lot of people in the gym that are more pals with, but he's trying to get the upper hand, then you've maybe landed a good few shots at him, he hits a wee bit harder. Then you're like, alright, he's maybe just hits a wee hardgin. And then, before you know it, there's another couple of hard shots. A couple of, and then you're like, fuck you.
Right, this is on.
So then it ends up on for there.
It's an ego thing, yeah.
Aye, definitely.
Definitely competitive.
It says ego as well, and everybody in the gym is competitive. Everybody wants to beat each other. Like, everybody wants to be the best, and it's a good thing bouncing off everybody as well. But there's got to be a time where it there's got to be always somebody unlooking to go, right, ease up a wee bit or whatever.
Aye,
because I've seen it before. There's been fucking.
I can see if you throw two cunts in the ring and just let them go at it, they'll punch the heads off each other. Like,
there's a few exchanges. Even some of my good mates, we've sat down and he's hit me something. He's like, "That's fucking Hingway, that's enough." And I was like, "You fucking hit heavy." I was like, "Shut up!" And then before you know it, the two of us have been fucking throwing elbows at each other and fucking. It's took off like.
Nah, it can start like that and see if there's no a coach that kind of rein it in. It's probably no. Maybe
my old gym, Gary O'Brien. He fucking had to split up me. He's got one of my good mates, John, and fucking he's shouting, "You're a fucking dick," and like after we've sparred, and he's like, "Right, that's enough." And he's like, "You fucking dick, one then or whatever, go out the ring." I'm like, "Fucking come here then." I've ran across the ring and fucking scalped him, and then we've been dragged apart and stuff like that. There's been stuff like that. It heats up. It does.
Is it that guy John Jones? Is he a PT?
Aye.
He does like a PT session. He does
one of my good he's one of my good mates. He's
ripping, man. I follow him on Instagram because I know a boy that goes to him for PT, and he was telling me this boy used to do Muay Thai. I think he done it growing up, man, and I think he was just wanting to get it back into for the fitness, and he was saying he was doing the one-on-one, and I followed him on Insta. Aye, man, the guy's a fucking machine, man. He's ripping into it.
Aye. But we're really good mates, and it does heat up.
Aye,
do you know what? See after that was mental.
You laugh.
We just laugh at it. It's fucking.
It's because you're in the gym full of country train as well. Plus, seeing you're like, I'm not taking a second prize in front of all my fucking teammates. Know what I mean? Because every cunt, see when it starts heating up, that's when every cunt stops what they're doing and looks.
Aye.
And you've got all the eyes on you. Because I remember I used to go to what was it, the Palace of Art, fucking the Noble Art it was called. It was a boxing club, man. I think it was about 15, 16. And the idea was when you get put into you had to be there and do a bit of the training, then you get into the sparring. The idea was, like, right, there's no point in getting in light sparring because you're not going into a fight and hitting light, you know what I mean? So there's no point in you going light, then getting flung in there, then some cuts try to punch your head off you. And a few times it did get out of hand, the kind of air cut thing, but it was one of the ones, it was all young boys, you know what I mean? But aye. So, as you go back to see what you're talking about when you went into your first British title fight, how was your feelings up to that point? When going into it, did there any nerves come? You get at this point like that, right?
I was a bit nervous. I was nervous going into it, thinking, right, but I knew that the work I was putting in, see the amount of training, I knew the way I was beating people before it. I'm going, I can beat this guy. And I'd seen a few videos and I'm going to tear him up. I'm like, I can fuck it. I'm going to rip his head off. Like, generally I knew, and see the more you train, your ego grows. Like,
it builds your confidence, doesn't it?
Aye, the more you're training, the way you're hitting pads and you're sparring and you're clinching and whatever else, your ego's growing every time. And see if you're religiously in the gym. And at that time, at the start of my career, I didn't drink. I stopped fucking, I chucked drinking.
Oh, really? Just got yourself right into it?
I was just, my thing was just fighting, that was it. I didn't want to, and Lloyd always said it, he's like, you're fucking, you're basically fucking disarming yourself. Like, you're going to be weaker if you're drinking and all that. He's seen it as a weakness. And I do get it, like, definitely, but I went off, I didn't drink for about 5 or 6 years or something.
Oh, really?
And at that time, all it was just go to the gym, hitting pads, sparring.
Just living and breathing it?
Living and breathing it, and that's exactly how it was. And I knew that guy couldn't beat me. And I knew I had my chance to fucking get the ASK. I asked my coach for it. The guy accepted it. It was 59 kilo, which is fucking like 9 stone 4.
Oh,
but
really?
Even at that time,
what was your usual fighting weight? Was that what you were usually fighting at?
I was fighting at 61 and then fought a couple of fights at 59. but it was always just, and I walked about maybe 64, 65, but it's differently now because you know how it's a science to cut weight. See with the water loading and all that, there was only so much of it we kind of knew back then, like with the water loading, the saunas and whatever else. Obviously I still sauna'd, but you didn't really, like, even the rehydration side of it, you didn't really know what you're doing. So at that time I was weight cutting and stuff, but I didn't know the science behind it. But going back to the fight, I knew I was going to kill him. So it was nervous. I think I was fighting at Normandy Hotel, which I stay in Renfrew, so that was like fucking my hometown.
A big deal then.
That was my hometown.
So do you have a lot of people coming to it then? It's like supporting you?
For just a British title fight, I think it was about 120 people or something there.
What, that you knew? Oh really? Aye, a big audience then.
Aye. So, and it was right on everybody's doorstep, so usually your pals going, fuck that, I'm not going to Grangemouth, I'm not going, oh you're here to see you fight. But it was good. It was Normandy Hotel. I finished them in the first round.
Oh really? Aye, wiped them out. So how was your scene? Obviously your confidence when you went in the ring, was it, know how Mike Tyson always talks about when he was walking into the ring, it was the ring walk, and he'd have all these thoughts and feelings getting into it, then the minute he stepped in the ring it was just like, right, that was him, it was tunnel vision. Was it that kind of same feeling for yourself?
You don't see them, like you see your pals and that, like at the back and they're all cheering, you see everybody, but you're not really thinking about it. It's like tunnel vision, that's what you're saying. Like, and seeing that ring, seeing you're standing across the ring, you can hear your coaches speak and you can hear them, but you know your pals are obviously all shouting, but it's just a noise. It's like just a background noise, but it's set for it seems silent, like totally silent. You're just looking across for somebody and you're going, right, here we go.
It's only me and you and it's in this world.
I can hear my coaches shouting like combinations or whatever else, and it's set for that. It's just me and him, and that's fucking.
Aye, us two in this world. How was it feeling when you knocked him into the first round?
Oh, it was fucking brilliant.
Was it? Everything thinking after that?
See, it beats any fucking drug I've ever taken.
Aye. The life's natural high, man.
That's it.
You can only imagine it, man.
I think everybody would say the same thing. There's no better feeling than fucking like taking somebody out, like in a ring, knockout, like a knockout finish or stoppage finish, and just fucking. It's a total different high.
Aye, definitely. There's no way you couldn't bet again any better. Not, I mean, the first round stoppage and it's your first title fight. So see after that, what was it? Obviously you said you weren't drinking at the time. See, was there any kind of I can celebrate it now? Or was it kind of back to gym? This is just I've won this, but you weren't celebrating too much.
Don't think I drank even after that fight.
Did you know that?
No, I don't think I did.
What was your mentality?
My pals might count me wrong here and listen to me talk shit.
A lying bastard, taking 40s and all that.
I don't think I had a drink after that.
So how was your mentality after it? Was it just right back in the gym? Next target?
Aye.
So what was your next goal after that?
My next step was to be European champion.
European champion? Did you set out, see like you done before, you set out a wee guideline to like your goal and what you had today? Did you do the exact same thing with this one? Or did you step the training up or not? Did you do anything differently?
No, anything different. I'd been doing the same stuff exactly from what I'd done at the start. So nothing really changed. You just get better and you're using different techniques, but we were using different techniques in the training, just we were still training at the same intensity. Nothing really changed. There wasn't a massive step up. The same stuff that was going to be done, that I'd been doing for even just fighting the amateur fights, as you say, at the low levels. I was doing that back then, but I should have like training.
Oh really? That's probably how you've obviously shot up the ranks so quickly and been able to beat people who probably had a lot more experience than you, because you're putting in the time and the effort. That's what they say, you know what I mean? You watch fighters in the UFC, it's all about dedicating yourself and making these sacrifices. Like, saying, what age were you at this point?
I think after the British title fight, I think I was 22.
See, exactly, 22. When I was 22, I was up here on it every weekend, Friday to fucking Sunday session. See somebody says, you can come to Muay Thai, kick fuck up people, you need to stop drinking. I did like that, I'd done 1 week and patched it, know what I mean? So it's at that age, know what I mean? It's like, a lot of people would love to do it, but see, when you look into the sacrifices you actually make, and the diet as well, I struggle a lot with diet. And I know I'm eating stuff and I shouldn't be eating it, but then it's like, it's hard. I just find myself, it's obviously a discipline problem.
Diet's the hardest thing.
Definitely is.
See, even now, that's the hardest bit. Like, I enjoy fighting, so I still go to the gym, I train, I spar, do the same kind of stuff. The only difference it changes in, like, see when I got a fight coming up, is I'll start training at 5 in the morning. So I'll do 2 sessions a day rather than just 1 session a day.
How do you feel getting up early in the morning training? Do you think that does a lot for your, let's say, your discipline and that kind of thing?
It's fucking horrific, to be honest. But getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning is tough.
What is it that gets you out of your bed at that time? What is it? Is there something do you need?
Knowing that other guy's training.
Aye, is it one of the ones if he's doing if I'm not doing it, he's doing it?
You know you need to put in the work. You know you're going to get embarrassed, beat up in front of all these people that have came to see you, so you know that he's putting in the work, so you need to do it, and it makes you get up. Definitely does. Like it's hard. See, even now, see if somebody tells me at 5 o'clock in the morning and it's no fur fighting, I'm like, fuck off. Like, I have to. Like, fighting wise, you have to.
Yeah, especially now that you're fighting Thais, man. They've been training since they've been fucking 4-year-old and all that, know what I mean? So you've had to put extra work in to get to their level. And the fact you only started training late. But I seen it a way back when we were kind of 19, 20, and that's like obviously the age when you're just out and you're getting on all the time. And man, he just did a switch, man. Just fucking went for doing the same shit, and then just fucking found this discipline, man. Just stuck with it right through. You just seen that switch, whereas everybody else I think I went to a training session with once or twice, didn't I? Aye, fucking you go to 1 or 2 and then you're back doing what you were doing before, but you found that fucking that discipline to go for it, man.
It just seemed like, see, after it was weird. I went a couple of sessions and I was totally hooked on it. See, just the not the violence, but the violence. Then ended up realising all the technique behind it, and it was like a big game of chess and the things you actually could do if you actually stuck it. And then it just drove for there. And then obviously when you get a few fights under you, then the ego grows and you're just going, I want to see how far I can actually go here. And then it just kept going and going. It was like a snowball effect.
Oh really? Aye.
And then you just started training harder and just pushing your body at the limits. Fighting better guys and vice versa.
See, when you're saying obviously you had like, was it a 9-win run streak, if I'm saying that right. I couldn't get the words out there. Then you had your title fight. Obviously you're seeing your ego's growing with obviously your training and that. See, when you win that title, was it no hard to kind of rein yourself in at times, not to go get a bit too, I'm better than this and most people, know what I mean, and kind of like take your foot off the gas? How you manage to keep yourself disciplined in that sense and keep training?
But Thai boxing, it's not like boxing, so there was like, so obviously I was big headed, I was fucking knocking everybody out at one point. There was not a lot of times I was going to points, so eventually I was meant to fight a guy, Keith McLachlan, who was the best in Scotland at the time. He pulled out and ended up the guy replaced him, which was Panikos Yusuf. I think I had 14 fights at the time. Panikos Yusuf had 35 fights.
Fuck's sake, really?
So
aye.
I was like, fuck it, I'll knock him out.
Aye.
End up we took a fight and it was a different level.
Oh really?
At the time,
just a noticeable change.
Ended up, I was doing well that fight, but I could see the difference.
You could see the experience in that.
His technique, he kind of swept me and gave me a wee knee in the ropes and stuff. I didn't really know then. I caught him after the bell with a shot. I still to this day say it was fucking, I landed a combination. I was pushing with punches. I threw a few hits to the head, then I went body, so I grabbed cross, I left hook to the body, and then I've been throwing an overhand right after it, and as I'm throwing the overhand right, the bells went.
Oh right.
But it's fucking hit him. The bells went and then I've hit him with the right, but it's a continuous combination. But I get called off. It was a DQ. But
shut up, really? Aye?
It was a DQ. But saying that, after that, we had the rematch and I never took it serious. I was like, fuck it, I'll knock him out again. And for that, I moved house, I bought a house then, I was renovating a house, so I was doing all the training, and then I was getting in at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I was getting my house and renovating the house. See, that time, I was renovating a house and doing all this, and
your head wasn't on the fight?
No, I wasn't interested. I was like, fuck it, I'll beat him again, I'll knock him out. He was training there in Thailand. He went there, I think he was there for like 5-6 weeks or something. He went there and fucking trained his ass off. And see, at the time I'd never beat Thailand. I didn't know what the training was like here. Whatever else, I'm going, okay. I was still putting the work in the gym, but then I was killing myself because then I wasn't sleeping enough. I should have been resting properly. Wasn't recovering. I'm going back to my house. I'm fucking scraping walls, fucking painting, whatever else till 12 o'clock at night. Then waking up, then got to my work.
Aye.
And then
so it's just a constant every day.
He was just waking up in Thailand, fucking training in the morning, resting during the day, then training the second. And I didn't know that as such, but it's just been young, big headed and fucking too bold, thinking that you could take the world.
Aye.
And you're like, fuck it, I'll beat him. And he beat me badly.
Oh, did he? Aye. That's that overhand right after the bell and he's done that training session, so man. He's that bastard, I'm getting him back.
Well. But he had a lot of experience, and then obviously he went earlier, put in the work, and he beat me in points. Like, I didn't feel myself in there. I don't know if I'd totally drained myself with just everything I'd done at the time. I had too much going on outside of Thai boxing, but that fight he he picked me. I didn't win a round, but
Oh,
I was
really,
still there 5 rounds. I was still there pushing and trying to do
so you still lasted distance?
I just felt fucking heavy in that, but he just was levels above me at that time.
Was he? So how did obviously, was that, see when you went to your streak, was this one of your kind of first defeats you kind of had to deal with?
Aye.
And how was that, dealing with that?
It was shite. You were thinking, you always say to yourself, like, is it worth the hassle? Because see, at that time, even at that fight, you were only walking away with it. I get my biggest purse for that, and that leading to there, and that was only £1,000 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most expensive. That was the most money I got. That before then, it was like £340 or like £500 a fight and all that. And see, for all the work you put in, it's fucking buttons.
Aye, it's definitely.
Like all the hours. See if you worked out the hourly rate, it'd be fucking.
Aye, for the time you need to pay for your training membership and all that shit.
So your training, your membership, all my travel at the time, I was travelling to the gym. All your supplements, your food and all that, you'd fuck all, you had nothing. So that was the kind of biggest purse I got back then, just for his with £1,000. You're going like, is it really worth £1,000 considering if I worked a few weekends I'd have fucking
I'd have cleared that easy and you wouldn't have had your face punched in for it.
Aye, so you're like, I don't know if it was fucking, you're debating yourself, will I keep going, then eventually you're like, right, fuck it, pick yourself back up. And it's probably one of the hardest things to do after a loss, pick yourself back up and just go, fuck up, get on with it, get back to the gym, and then after a few weeks you just use that as motivation.
Mm-hmm.
That was my motivation, going, that'll never happen to me again. Obviously fucking has,
Aye,
getting beat, but
the best experiences life can give you, innit, man? We just talked about it earlier, know what I mean?
a lot of mistakes, right? So there was a lot of mistakes that I had in that fight and things I wasn't doing properly, and it made me change all that. So losses are good. That's what I'm saying in boxing, like, you don't get that. You guys can go fucking 20 fights and 20-0 and, you know what I mean, and they're not fighting them day.
Aye, I know.
They're fighting fucking bums.
Aye, that's
You know what
exactly it, man.
I fought Parakos Yusuf, but he's still one of the best fighters in the UK. Even in the world, he's won one championship as well. But he had 34 fights at the time. You know what I
That's
mean?
well experienced, man. Was he much older than you?
Aye, I think he's maybe 6 years
Is it?
older than me. Aye.
Because what you people don't realise, you can go in the gym 7 days a week if you want, fucking as many sessions you want a day, but see that fighting experience, so you've been in the fight, because a lot of things happen in fight, you need to adapt. So see when you're fighting somebody that's got twice as many fights as you, they've been in a lot of situations you've not been in, so they can kind of adapt to it, whereas you're like kind of new to it. So it's
also as well at that time, see, a lot of even though I had 14 fights, a lot of my fights were done in the fucking first round.
so this is the first time you'd kind of went to distance, went a couple of rounds?
There was a few fights after my 9 fight, just knockouts and stoppages. There was a couple of fights that I just won points, but there was no many points wins. So that's you doing a full 5 rounds. I wasn't doing 5 rounds. You were lucky if I fucking... And think about how many fights he had and went all the rounds.
Aye,
and 30, 34, 36 fights.
He's been in the waters before. But so see when you, obviously after the defeat, you were kind of like, ah, right, I kind of need to kind of get back together this stuff. So did you recognise at that point, see before you says obviously you're renovating the house, you're up working, you weren't giving yourself enough rest, did you recognise that was an issue?
Aye.
So you recognise that, did you stop and sit down and go, alright, I need to identify what the problems are and I'll need to work on them?
Aye, definitely.
So where did you take yourself after that? What was your next fight after that?
It's hard to even think when my next one was after that, but after that I'd started fighting a bit more cautiously, not just fighting just aggressive all the time, changing my game up a bit, doing a lot more clinch and stuff. I started doing wee bits and bobs at other gyms as well. I went to Gary O'Brien's and I started doing some clinch stuff up there, but I was still at my gym, trained harder, just focused on actual training and resting rather than fucking renovating houses if I had a fight. You just can't, it's an unforgiving sport, you can't spread yourself too thin. You need to be focused and dedicated in it, because all these guys you're fighting now, it wasn't these guys I was fighting before maybe weren't as dedicated. All the guys I was fighting now are full-time athletes and professionals, or their job is in a gym holding pads for somebody. So it was a higher level.
So you had to step up your game for that. So see how long after that before you end up getting signed with one championship? Was this a while before it or what?
I didn't even get one championship. I think I'd already had 47 fights or something like that.
Oh really? So at this point?
So that was another, say, that was only my 14th fight, that one, Panic.
Oh, was it? Aye.
It was a lot for then.
I remember the fight with, is it Rambo? Is that how you say it? Is it Rambo? How long after was that?
That was the fight that got me. on One Championship.
Oh, was it? Aye.
Aye, definitely. I'd been choking to get on One Championship, and we'd try and put our name forward, and we weren't hearing anything back for them. Probably because I'd fought Super League, it was a tie, but I get beaten points. It was a good fight, really tough. I'd say pound for pound one of the best in Thailand, but it didn't really. They still never done enough to get that. And then after I fought Rambo and had a big win on Yorkow, Yorkow's a massive show. So
I've watched a couple of fights. It's weird. There's another guy for the Yorkow fights called Chris Shaw, isn't there?
aye,
Because I got confused with that. I remember
Chris Shaw's fair.
Is he? Aye, because I was watching the fight. I turned it on and I'm like, who the fuck's this cunt? I'm like,
He's a big Chris Shaw. I always joke. He's a fat one.
is he? Aye.
Fat one, aye.
Overweight Chris Shaw.
That's it.
So see when you say obviously after you bet Rambo and it's like when you won championship they get in touch with you then after obviously we're trying to get, how was that feeling when they finally get back to you?
Some feeling.
Was it? Aye, amazing.
It felt like there was a lot of times, even the couple of years leading up before that, I was getting to a point where I'd beat a lot of people. I'd won tournaments, like 4-man and 8-man tournaments, and you were just going, is it time to chuck it now? Is it time now to let it go or whatever? You know what, you're just getting busy with your other parts of your life and all that.
Aye.
My own roofing company and that now as well, so it's just you're thinking, is it really worth it? I'd still train, but you know how much work. It's a love-hate fucking relationship fight.
You need to sacrifice all, you need to dedicate yourself.
You know how much they fucking sacrifice is, like all the training, the diet, everything else. Like you're going to birthday parties or whatever, you can't eat a bit of cake, you can't fucking everybody's drinking, going like, how do you know if I drink? And
try to shove it in your face and all, you're like,
I can't have it. And like, people don't understand unless you're a fighter, like what it takes, all the hard work, the dedication and all that. And I know how much it takes out me and takes all my time as well. So it was good. Like hearing for One Championship that finally got to that kind of stage.
It's finally paying off after all that, because see all that time like you were kept, did you manage to keep your discipline that full time? Like, was there never any points where you're like you kind of took your fucking fell off the wagon a bit?
There's times before that, obviously, just end up going out with my mates drinking and stuff like that, and times where after fight I would never always, when I knew a fight was coming, that was me dedicated, but leading up to that it was a case of still go to my mates party and whatever else, and maybe put my foot off the gas with a few things, be a wee bit lazy, just because sometimes you're going, what's the kind of end goal here?
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like, when am I going to get my shot? And that is the biggest goal, to be in One Championship. So finally got there, and it's just new. Next step is the goal is to fucking be the one champion. I think 2 big massive wins could get me there. 2 big massive wins will get you a title fight. So
really?
Aye, because it's the best fight in the best.
Aye, because it's
if you put on 2 good performances, maybe 2 big knockouts, you'll get your shot.
Brilliant.
So that's the goal now.
How many fights have you had with One Championship? Because I know you fought, is it, how the fuck do you say his name again?
Rodlick.
I was going to say Rodlick, and I was like, no, that's the right man, and I'm like, fucking, I just watched it earlier on and all. But I was at Rodlick, that's the only one you fought?
That's the only one I fought.
Because I watched that one in the first round, you came out swinging, man, doing well, but it's obviously, you can tell with the ties, man, it's all that years of experience that came out, know what I mean, into the later rounds.
He caught me 15 seconds to go. It's fucking a sore one to take, to be fair. I did get back up and all that, whatever else. It was mere just being tired and anything else. I think, see, they checked his cut in the 3rd round, and see that wee 50 seconds, I just like sitting, waiting, and your head's playing tricks, and you going like, they're going to stop this here. He's cut, they're going to stop it.
You're thinking, and
then I'm like thinking to myself, see in reality, I'm looking, I'm like, they're never going to stop the fight fucking this close to the end with a cut. I'm like, what the fuck was it? But it's just, see when you're tired, your fucking mind plays tricks on you.
Definitely.
So I was tired, and I'm going, alright, I fucking won, and the ref's like, right, carry on. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Right back into it.
And I felt with the adrenaline just fucking like
seeped out me.
Aye, seeped out me. I felt heavy, and I was like, for fuck's sake.
Oh,
but
fuck.
Caught 15 seconds to go, but other than that, it was an alright fight for my first fight in a cage and 4-ounce gloves. It's a different experience. It's such a big difference fighting in those 4-ounce gloves.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was like, how did it feel adapting to that, having to go to the smaller gloves? Did you train for that, or did you just when you went in, or did you actually spar with the smaller gloves to get yourself used to it?
I started sparring with the smaller gloves. I started going up higher level at Bathgate. There's a lot of MMA guys there, so that's the gloves they train in, sparring, whatever else. So started realising that you can't just hold your, see with the guard and gloves and Thai boxing, you can hold tight and just hold your guard up. But see those wee gloves, they just go through. Even see if they hit the guard, they hit the guard, they just slide right through. So you start realising you need to adapt. You can't just be there to hit, you need to keep moving, circling away and whatever else. I tried to do that as much as I could that fight, but ended up getting to a point where he sucked up everything. You're going, fuck this, let's just fucking like stand there, and I just try to throw as much elbows as I could at him. But definitely massive difference with those wee gloves. You feel them.
Was it?
Even the scuffs, and like see the ones that scuff by your face, they're a fucking mess.
I seen it in that fight. It was a shitload of blood. See, when was it only when you got the contract with the One Championship when you started, right, I need to go and start like moving into like another gym and kind of stuff? Was it then? See, once you started like sparring, obviously the weird gloves and that, was at any point in your head like off the right, that's when you realised this is going to be another level? Or did you kind of prepare yourself for that when you knew you were getting yourself into?
I kind of knew what I was getting myself in me. It is still Thai boxing, but the rules are different with One Championship. It's not about scoring. It's 3 rounds and they want action, so it's about aggression.
So it's brutality.
It's about aggression and damage. So it's no Thai boxing a lot of time where my past fights, if there was a big heavy puncher or whatever else, you would pick him off and score. You'd maybe body kick him. You'd pick up your points and sit on the ropes and stuff. They're not looking for that. It's not a 5-round fight either. It's 3 rounds and they want just action. You know what I mean? That's what they want you. They want it to be entertaining for the fans, and that's me now adapting my style back to that.
Just back to the old style you kind of started with.
The old style that I started with, and then I started fighting like higher level opponents, started being a bit smarter, kicking, scoring more, but now I need to get back to my old kind of style. Get
back to your roots.
That's it.
How do you feel getting back to that? Are you kind of buzzing to kind of get back to that?
Buzzing to get back to it a bit. It's got to be hard getting back to just that kind of style again.
I try to get out of that kind of set routine. I've been like kind of more conscientious about what kind of punches you're throwing and that kind of stuff and what you're doing.
That's it, just balls to the wall and just go for it. That's
it. So see, obviously One Championship, it's got the thing with the hydration thing. How did you feel adapting to that? See when obviously for cutting weight they do like hydration tests, how is it feeling adapting to that?
It's a different ball game totally.
Oh really, how's that?
I was panicking a bit because it's totally different. Like with weigh-ins before, we were water loading, cutting weight, and see for a fight you would say if I was fighting at 61 kilo,
right,
I would walk about 68, 69 kilo,
right,
and then diet, get myself down to maybe 66, 65. I'd water load 2 weeks before it, so I'd be drinking 6 litre of water, 6 to 8 litre of water a day.
Right.
So you would drink that just so you're constantly passing, and in 24 hours before the weigh-in, you stop drinking water, dead, and you just basically fucking go cold turkey.
So what does that do for you? For people who don't kind of know.
So you're filling yourself with all water, so you're tricking your body into getting all this water in your body, so it knows it's got all this water in, and then eventually you cut it dead. So you've been doing, your body knows it's triggering, it keeps pissing, it's used to pissing all the time. So then your stomach's getting used to this water, your body, everything else. So that gets to a point where when you stop it, say your weigh-in's at Friday at 6, Thursday at 6 I'll stop it, I'll keep pissing. So I'll keep pissing Thursday, and even Friday morning, but I can't drink or eat anything. I don't drink or eat.
Oh really? So you need to fast?
I fast for Thursday at 6 till Friday at 6 at the weigh-in. And day I same again, and your body just keeps passing water even though you're not drinking water.
Oh, so you're passing all the water you've kind of built up.
Usually I can cut 2 kilo that way. So 2
really,
kilo weight will come
off. It's a fair bit, man.
And then obviously I'll most likely have 3 kilos still to cut. So I'll go the sauna, I'll rub albuline, I like Sweet Sweat. It's like a makeup remover.
Right.
And you rub it on your skin to open your pores opened.
Oh really, aye?
Then you'll put a sauna suit on, go in the sauna as long as you can. The first time I'll just always go in as long as I can, see if I can last. Then you go outside the sauna, towel up, just like mummy yourself, get like 15-20 minutes, just make sure you're still sweating under the towels, and then you just get back in the sauna and I will do 15-minute stints. So 15 minutes in, 15 minutes out until I make weight.
How do you feel doing that? Let's see, leading up to it, do you feel fucking drained?
Oh, it's horrific.
Is it one of the ones just fucking getting helped onto the scales and all that?
It's not as bad as that. It's no, some people, like,
I've seen some people get it quite bad, man.
Some people rip the arse with it. Some people try and cut like 5 on the day.
Aye.
Like, so even though they've water loaded and all that, they'll still try and cut 5. 2 to 3 kilos, fine. 5 kilos, ridiculous.
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
You
really
start
dangerous.
affecting your kidneys and that, man. Fucking, how is it?
The trick is rehydrating, but see, as soon as I've weighed in, then I'm rehydrating, I'm getting water on that back into me. Some guys use IV drips, vice versa. It's just lucky if some guys can do it. Some people's ban IV, well, the UFC have banned IV drips now.
Oh, I've seen that, in fact.
You get IV drips, or you'll rehydrate properly, like Deorolite, coconut water, just to get the potassium back into your body. Hundreds of water. Most people make a mistake of just try to eat straight away.
Definitely, it's not a good idea, is it, man?
See, if your body, you've fasted, you've took all this water out of you, you need to get water back in. So I'll try and get the equivalent of what I've took out my body back in before I even think about eating. Then think about wee small meals. If you eat too fast and eat
it's
a
a
big
shock
meal,
to the body.
eat a big meal, you'll just end up bloated, you'll feel sick. Some people take a bad turn, mate.
Really, aye. You ever heard any stories of people taking bad turns like that? Anybody you fought with that?
I've heard hundreds of horror stories.
Really, aye.
Guys that are fucking really bad. I've seen people at weigh-ins and you're just looking at them like, what the fuck happened to you?
I couldn't looking at death's door. Remember Conor McGregor, and he used to cut down to featherweight. Sometimes he looked like a junkie, man.
That's what it looks like.
It doesn't. It doesn't look good because you're like that. Then, but is it the next day of the fight, man? That can't be any good for you getting into a fight like that.
But that's everybody's cutting weight, so you need cut weight.
I
see. In an ideal world, I'd happily fight my walkabout weight. But even the way one championship we're doing it, like that's a good weight for me. Especially with the water tests, the rehydration tests and stuff like that. But see, when it's no the like rehydration one championship stuff, people are cutting the day before weighing. They've got 24 hours to recover, and some guys do it fucking really well. Some guys can put 12 to 14 kilo on.
That's fucking madness, isn't it, man?
Aye,
that's some amount of weight. But once you imagine that's like a disc, like a fucking disc you get in a gym, man, that's fucking heavy, you know what I mean?
Some people fucking, I have heard of that, like 12, 14. Most guys will probably put on, myself, I'll probably, if I weigh in at 61.5, I'd get myself up to 68, 69. But it's for, even if I'm weighing at 63.5, I'll probably only go up to 68, 69, doing it properly, because that's really my walkabout weight. But some guys are fucking ballooning up massive.
Crazy. You think that will affect your performance or not, putting all that weight on and off in such a short period of time?
Depends how well people are rehydrating. It's a science. Like, and see now there's hundreds of stuff out there now, so everybody should know what they're doing now.
You got YouTube and that as well. See, that's what I say all the time. See, if you don't know something, see the amount of times they're talking. I know nothing about bikes, and I fucked the front tyre on my bike, and it wasn't even my bike, it was my pal. So I was like, I can't tell him, I need to sort it. Right on the YouTube, man, sorted it in 2 minutes. Like, thank fuck we've got that.
That's a big difference. Like, see, back when I was fighting at the start, there wasn't, like, you were trying to Google shit, but there wasn't that much out there.
Google, it wasn't as helpful back then, was it?
Wasn't telling you about how you should eat properly for fighters, whatever else. You were going with what people saying, like hearsay, you know what I mean?
Just taking word of mouth.
Just do this, just do that, and now there's like, YouTube's massive. Like, you've got all, obviously, Dolce and stuff like that. There's other people, Lockhart and stuff like that are doing all these rehydration and weight cutting stuff. So people are just buying packages now off of them.
I just doing it myself.
They deal with all the kind of top UFC athletes, and it is a science in itself.
No, definitely, man. There is. It's one of the ones that does, and it fucking affects a lot of your performance. So see, when it goes back to the one championship, so how's the, let's see, now you had to change that up, did that affect you? Was that a lot of things to deal with?
It was more mental, like, just having to, like, because usually you were obviously trying to take all the water out your body. This time you needed, like, hydrated water in your body.
Oh, right, so you're doing all the way about.
So it's a bit weird, like, you're going and they're right, Chris Shaw way in, 2 guys come to the toilet and they're sitting watching me piss into a urinal, like, I'm like, do they look at me? Just looking at my dick.
The stairs eat your dick, aye?
And I'm like, it's kind of like combat cock. I'm like, it is usually bigger, you know what I mean? It's just because you two are watching me as well, it's not making it any better. So you're doing that and you're pissing. It's just because you get guys that, like, you see the fake dicks and whatever else, and see people.
They couldn't try that shit?
Aye, couldn't try that shit. So they obviously sit and watch for it. So it was a bit weird watching somebody watching me piss into a cup and that. So then you take your cup, you go up and they shout Chris Shaw. You come in, test it, you jump on the scales, and he'll tell you what percentage you were. My first one was close. I'd no drank enough water. Because I was worrying about the weight at first. I was overthinking it because it's the first time I've done it. So I kind of panicked the first time. So then after that I was fine. I passed the rehydration, passed the weight. That was all good. Then went, ate, got something to eat, got water back in me, whatever else. I wasn't cutting a lot, like you were cutting a kilo or something like that. So I went out a nice wee run and that was it. Just I never drank enough water to pass the rehydration, like to be really clear with my rehydration test. So then the next day I was spot on for it. Same again, sitting looking at my dick again. And
so you need to do it 2 days in a row?
2 days, you need to weigh 2 days. So usually it's only just 1 day. So you weigh in 2 days and then even weigh you after the fight to see what you've.
So what's the reason behind that? Is that just so in case you take any radical weight cuts?
People can't keep. There will be people that do it, like cutting massively 2 days in a row, like one after another, but it'll fuck them for the fight.
Definitely.
But some people will do it and they'll do it well if they're good at it.
You need to be kind of clued up in that kind of stuff to get away with that.
One's trying to stop it all, because it's getting ridiculous, you know what I mean? Some of the people are dying out there, you know what I mean?
Aye, so you're hearing about it, man. There's people, because it's fucking cunts' kidneys, and it's like, so you go in sauna, but fucking you've no water in your body, man. It can heavy fuck you up. I've watched a couple, I can't mind. It's a documentary, it was a UFC fight, and the guy was lying outside the sauna like that.
You see,
it was fucking out for that, couldn't
see trainers and all that, throw guys in.
Aye, they're forcing them in and that shit, man.
I've heard all the stories. It's not. I've never been had my coach going, hurry up and get fucking back in. He's like, fucking get in, and I'm going, right, I need to get back out. And he's like, no, fucking hurry up, get another 5 minutes and whatever. But it's tough. That's one of the hardest bits about fighting. See the weight cutting and the diet. Except for that, I'd fight for nothing.
Oh, really? Aye. So the fighting's the easy bit about it.
You're paying me to cut weight and fucking.
Oh, really? Aye. So it's everything outside of the fighting. Aye, defo.
And I think that'll be the same with most fighters. Most fighters enjoy it. Like, they do love it.
Aye, you would need to, man. See, you've been at that level as well, man. You would need to. There need to be some. I'd be surprised to hear if there was some. I know like GSP and that, they say they hate fighting and that, but something in you needs to be.
I can understand. See what Nick Diaz says about the love-hate of the fighting. He says it well, and it is. There's like a love-hate to it. Like, you love the fighting, but see the dieting and the fucking cutting weight and all the
baggage it comes with.
All the shit it comes with. You know how much work it needs to put in, because if you don't put the work in, it's going to be a long night in there.
No, definitely, man.
You'll get found out.
I know, it's crazy. It's like it's one of the ones, everything that on the fight, everything that fucking that matters in the fight happens outside that fucking ring. Know what I mean? It does. It happens in the gym, and it happens with your diet and all that kind of stuff. And that's where the discipline does come into it. 2 seconds, I've just got to get my next. So what I was going to say, do you see a transition maybe into trying MMA or that? Have you ever thought about that? Or are you sticking with Muay Thai?
For years and years, like even back end, like fucking after I had 4 or 5 fights, I was going, right, I'll do another year of fighting. I'd set goals. I'll be British champion or whatever. And then after that, I'm going to go into MMA. But then I took another fight, and then another fight led to another fight, and then next year you were going, right, I'll do it this year. And then it came again, and you're like, fucking hell. It just, Thai boxing just kept sucking me back in.
Oh, really?
Just all those fights, and just because I love it as well. But I have been doing a bit of MMA.
Oh, really? What have you been doing? What kind of training you been doing?
Doing wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I've been doing like full MMA.
Oh, really?
Aye.
You been doing like MMA sparring?
Aye.
Aye, because you were sparring with Stevie Ray, you were saying, you know?
Aye. I've sparred with a lot of good guys up at higher level.
How does it feel, the difference between being in a like kind of Muay Thai kind of fight and an MMA fight? Is it a big, do you feel like a big massive kind of out your comfort zone a bit?
I think it's fucking horrific. See the takedowns involved. So right, see standing up and with the MMA gloves, I'm kind of used to that now. See when you get fucking, you're standing up and you're trying to land combinations or whatever, before you know it, you think you're out the way of something, a punch, and then you're just getting slammed to the mat. Stevie Ray hit me and it felt like a truck hit me.
Fuck aye, was it?
Fucking slammed me to the mat, and I'm going, oh, what the fuck was that? And he's like, then he's leaning his leg on me, punching me. And he's going, Chris, you need to try and get up, push my legs. I'm like, I'm fucking trying.
Your leg's like a log, mate, you know what I mean?
his leg felt so heavy, it felt like 3 guys were holding me down and punching me. But no, I have been really enjoying it. I know obviously I was saying about the stand up there that the takedowns in it, but I'm starting to get used to takedown defence and whatever else. But I'm looking for it. I've got another few fights with one. I want to have my goal is to be win the 1 belt.
That's the first and foremost on your mind.
I need to win. Before that, even thinking about that title fight, I need to have 2 big fights and 2 big like crowd pleasing performances.
I see, you need to put on a show. 2
big fights, 2 big performances, ideally 2 big knockouts, fight for the belt, win the belt, and then we can start thinking about MMA.
Brilliant, man.
I'm enjoying the training there, it's good. It's totally different, as I said, like with Thai boxing, like all the kind of chess side of it. Jiu-jitsu is fucking wild.
Nah, that's another level of chess, isn't it, man?
See, you feel like you're alright sometimes, then next minute you're getting choked.
Aye. It can happen the blink of an eye.
I was in a fucking good position there. How the fuck am I getting choked now?
Aye.
But the wrestling side of it as well, wrestling's sword.
There's so much that comes into it, man.
It's just constant. It's just like two guys are just like that, 100%, and they're just going right at each other, and you're trying and see if you let off a wee bit and try to get a wee breather. He's on top of you, he's holding you down, and then you're trying to get a break up and he'll just lie on top of you, and every time you move he'll just flatten you back out again. And see the feeling, I can't even think the feeling that Khabib's opponents feel, because he's doing that to high level guys that grapple.
He's like cunts like Dustin Poirier and that, black belts in jiu-jitsu, man. He's ragdolling him about the ring, man. It just shows. Sometimes I'm like that to myself. I'd love to not like roll with him just to feel what everyone else feels, mate. Yes. It must feel like you're drowning or something.
Aye, definitely. I feel that even with the guys in higher level, that hold me down and I can't get back up, and then I try to get back up and how tiring it is.
Because it's like 25 minute square go basically.
See the guys at the MMA, like I always thought like stand up wise, I was like, I've got a good stand up, I should be able to hold my own, but see MMA wise, like see the grappling side, it's massive, like it's huge in it, like if they can grapple, I will not be able to stand up and strike. Even see the threat of a takedown, it changes your whole game.
It forces you a lot more on the defensive, isn't it?
I've got so much respect for guys at the MMA, because I think like even getting good at Thai boxing the years I've done, it's getting good at the clinch, good at kicking, kneeing, punching and elbowing, like so different, broken down into blocks, like think of that plus wrestling. On the other side's of wrestling, then the jiu-jitsu side, jiu-jitsu just keeps going and going and going, like it changes constantly as well. So it's fuck knows how they do it all.
Plus because you're a professional, see at the Muay Thai, no, I mean you've been done it so many years, like you're fucking can hold your own. So it's when you're going in there, it just shows you how much goes into it. Let's see a competitor if somebody was to just come out and off the street and try and do MMA, because it's a whole different ball game.
It's quite humbling. It's humbling. Like see, I always thought in a fight I'm going like fuck this. If it starts standing, I'm going fuck. I'll be able to handle myself and I'll take them out before it even gets to the ground. But it's not as easy as that.
Because they know that, they know as well. Let's see with the opponent. It's like if two guys fighting Muay Thai, you know what I mean? You kind of, there's only like so many moves you can make, I imagine. You know what I mean? With this, it's like you're constantly guessing. You know what I mean? Like you can be fighting, as you say, 1 minute, next thing you're getting taken down, then you need to adapt. Right, what do I need to do in this position? It takes a lot. It must take a lot, man. But so obviously to your next goal, that's to be the one championship. So when was your last fight with Rodlick? When was that?
It was January the 31st here in the Philippines last year.
So have you got any idea when you might be fighting next?
I've been contacting them, see what happened. There was talk about it being ready for March.
This year?
Aye, there. And then they said everything's kind of wet as shit now because of like coronavirus again and quarantine, whatever else. So I've been getting in contact. They just told me can I stay ready. Hopefully get matched this year as soon as I can. I have been training, so I'm trying to do as much as I can now. So I will be ready when it comes.
How does it feel, see all that time off? Because you obviously before, like when you're doing your Muay Thai career, you're used to fighting quite regularly, like every couple of months. How does it feel having this much time without a fight? Does it playing any part in your mental?
It's like a big empty space. It's not about the fighting, like no. It's just I have been training and stuff like that there, but it's just it's a big massive gap in your life there, man. Like fighting's fucking what I love. You know what I mean? I'm staying busy through all this shit. Just working more in my business and all that. We'll try to do as much as I can that way. I'm renovating in our house. Shot that time.
Really?
When I said I fucking wasn't doing it again and fighting, but I'm renovating in our house.
At least you don't get a fight to worry about the new anyway. You know what I mean? You
can just stay busy with it all. Like with this shit going on, you could just fucking beat yourself up and feel sorry for yourself. So just get on with it. Just be ready. Do what I can do the now, and then when the opportunity comes, start getting really into my training and get ready to go for it. That's
it, man. See, with obviously the time, obviously you've not had a fight. Do you feel? Are you one of the ones like the minute you do get announced a fight, you'll be like, right, I'm fucking want to tell this cunt see daft kind of thing? I think you'll probably benefit you in that sense.
Aye. So maybe just a wee bit of time away for fighting, like see all the training camps and all. I've had a wee bit. See, after that fight with Rodlick in January, I was training again all the way through to March, hoping to fight again about another 4 fights or something that year. And then everything can shut down, like everything total shut. You know yourself, everything. So I just had a time away for the gym and that. So decided if I wanted it or no. Like see with the wee bit of time off and going, when's it going to get back to normal? Am I going to fight again? Whatever else. And it was a wee question yourself. Do you really want it or no? Do you want to do this anymore? Do you want to do this? Do you want to keep going? And then I've decided, fuck it, let's go for it. Keep going. There's plenty of stuff, plenty of fights and all that I still want to do. I still want it. So I'm totally focused now. So that bit of time off's been probably good because it's not all the constant like damage in your body. Every training camp you're putting fucking stress on your body. You're taking more hits and sparring. A lot of damage is through sparring and whatever else. So being away from that's probably done me the world of good.
Brilliant, man. It's
made me sit back as well, think about it if I really want it.
It's sat and reflecting. Plus, because you've had your business and that as well, it's not as if you've had stuff going for you. So I'm like, right, I've not had fighting. Is it one of the ones you could sit and you go through it and you're like, oh wait a minute, man, I'm actually fucking better off for it. But now the fact you've actually been able to sit down and have a word with yourself and go, no, I really want this. So when you're getting back in, that doubt is, if there was any doubt, there was no doubt at all there, to be like, no, I've sat and spoke to myself about this, you know what I mean? So it might even be a blessing in disguise, see how this kind of worked in that.
Just sometimes you question yourself and you go back to yourself, do I really want to do this? And just, you know what, I'd have a big fucking empty gap in my life without it.
I realise without it, it's got shown you what life would be like if you patched it.
I could still fucking train in that, but I think even the most important thing, see the fight. I still fucking love it.
Aye, you need
I think I'd go fucking nuts. I think my missus would divorce me if I
Oh, really? Aye.
if this in my life. No.
Have you got like a set age that you'd want to retire for? Or are you just going to keep doing it as long as you like doing it?
See, I'll keep doing it until the time where I'm getting beat off by people that I shouldn't get beat off. I should know when. I've been thought about it a couple of times. Like, that's enough. Like, you've done mostly all you can. But now with this one championship, with the Rodlett fight, I thought I could have done a lot better. It's easier saying that when you're looking back on the fight now and going, I should have done this, I should have done that. But leading up to that, I've done everything I could. But then you're going like, if I made small adjustments, I could have beat him. And he only just fought for the belt a few weeks ago. He beat off Phenomenal, but he just fought for the belt. So just shows you I'm not far away. Two big fights, 2 big wins, 2 big knockouts. You can be fighting for that belt. So that's my goal now, and I'm going to give it fucking everything.
Brilliant, man.
Amazing, man. Aye, brilliant, man. Wish you best of luck in it, mate. I fucking genuinely think you've got it in you today. You've got the disciplined mind, no? I seem you're saying that, like, no drinking that. You seem the kind of person that can just switch it on like that. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. I definitely wish you the best of luck, my man.
That was at the start, they do drink that. I still don't drink that.
I still have a fucking locked in it, man. But, aye, fucking... Anyway, thanks for coming, my man.
Right,
brilliant. Best of luck. Hope you get a fight soon, mate.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Premeditated pal. Catches.